All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So it's been a while since I've covered these, but I think now is a good time because look, Nvidia is about to drop their earnings, all right? And if Nvidia has bad earnings, the market is not going to be good, all right? And I think this can be an interesting place to find some green in a sea of red if that happens, all right? If Nvidia earnings does well, I'm probably going to look away from these, but yeah, this is actually one of my thoughts for what happens if Nvidia is bad, all right? And I think one important thing to remember, all right, we are actually only now days away from the South Carolina primary, all right? It wasn't that long ago. We were more than 2 weeks away. Obviously, a whole dead week was last week, right? We're now in this Wednesday, couple days away from Saturday, right? I wish this wasn't happening during non-trading days, right? Obviously, it's going to happen on Saturday. Obviously, nothing at all can happen on Sunday. Monday's going to be the first moment we can react after this, right? So that's a little bit of an interesting wrinkle. But again, I think for me, it's a little bit less about the Donald Trump connection as usual and a little bit more of if Nvidia is bad, I think these can do good, all right? That's just a theory. And then Rumble. Look, I expected a little more to happen when it hit the 200 moving average. I did, all right? I'll flash it really quickly, and again, I'll cover in detail later, but it hit the resistance, it hit the 200, it actually did bounce up, but clearly not enough. It's why I love these moving averages, all right? It keeps me in check. It keeps the hype that you see all over the place, all over the internet, from all over these people, YouTubers, right? And yeah, the moving averages, man, it either does or it doesn't, right? And that's why I love this stuff. So before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, though, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, giving me your comments, oh man, I'm so grateful for it all right? So let's get into fun. And I don't even know where I want to start, all right? I obviously talked about the calendar. We'll get into that shortly. I love talking about the moving averages, but I think I have to start with volume, all right? And the big thing I was saying for weeks on weeks on weeks was I'm surprised how stagnant, how stale, how flat, how lackluster, so many different adjectives, how bad volume has been, but how horizontal the stock price has stayed. That was strength, all right? Because generally, if you're at 1 point something billion shares traded and you all of a sudden come down to 100 million, that's a significant drop. That's a substantial, more than 90% drop, all right? Once I zoom in, I'm going to go away from that one. You can see it. All of a sudden, the difference between these couple weeks of horizontal and this last weekish of bad was the 50-day average line, all right? We didn't have good volume, but hey, we were at least near that 50-day line. All of a sudden, it was this impossibility, and I'll even zoom in some more. It's even louder as I zoom in, right? All of a sudden, the impossibility to hit the line made the price come down more than it was, all right? And a drop from 36 to 26, that's not good. You're losing a dime on a stock that only has 3 dimes, right? So it is a substantial drop, even though it doesn't look like a crazy downtrend, right? So volume to me has been the biggest story here. PHUN had a monster pop. PHUN never came back to sustaining it, was at least able to sustain this nice 4-day around 500 million shares that help it go up, right? But from there, it just, volume is king. It's one of my golden rules of trading, right? Like volume is king, all right? So let's come into the calendar now, all right? Because again, We went from over 2 weeks of nothing to over 1 week of nothing to now we're only a couple days away. All right. The biggest difference between this upcoming one and the past ones, right? This happened on a Monday. This happened on a Tuesday. These two happened on a Thursday. They were both on a Thursday. All of them, all of the Republican ones had a trading day the day after. All right. When we look at this next upcoming one, it's on a Saturday. All right, and that's a little bit of an interesting wrinkle because look, we can't do anything. We can't do anything the day of. We can't even do anything the day after. We have to wait 2 full days before we can actually see how the market reacts to this 24th, all right? Then we have another one right behind it, all right? Obviously, it's a big Democratic one. Michigan's a decent 16, but this 50, I believe we said, yeah, 50 was the biggest of all the Republican ones that have passed so far, right? Iowa being the big 40. So maybe the delegate number will do something. I don't know if this Saturday is going to be an interesting little wrinkle. But like I started the video with, I think I'm more interested here if NVIDIA doesn't do well, all right? NVIDIA is either going to pop strong or drop hard. All right, and I think the indices will follow. I think the Dow Jones, I think the NASDAQ, I think the S&P 500 are going to mimic what NVIDIA does. And if that goes down, most will go down. Maybe maybe DWAC will be a little bit of an outlier, all right? So, we haven't quite come down to this 25 line that I drew. I remember talking about 27 cents a lot. So it's interesting to see us in that 27, 26 range right now. Obviously not quite at the 25 line that I drew, but I do remember talking about this range only a couple weeks ago, you know. Honestly, I don't think I would trust PHUN until 33 cents. 33 cents, you can see it in the box over there, will put us over all the moving averages. It's a penny over the 20 moving average right now. I'm also seeing a 20 moving average that's going to come down. So as that comes down, I think that 33 cent line will be that much stronger. So I think 33 cent will be the line. I'm not going to draw a new one. I think this 36 cent is still a line that matters more. Oh, as I'm saying that, I'm wondering if I should lower it. Let me just see what it looks like if I lower it. No. I'll put it to right there. I'll bring it down a penny to 35. I think I'm comfortable with that. I don't think that 33 was big enough to lower it. Maybe that 36 was a little aggressive because that at least gives us the bottom of this, what is this early February candle, and it's on the higher side of these two other bigger ones in January and another one in February. So yeah, I'll drop it at 35. I think I'm cool with that. Yeah, I think where I want to end this is the volume. So look, when I click here, the average 50-day volume is basically 141 million shares. All right. What I'm going to do is do 141 divided by a 7-hour trading day. We need 20 million shares each hour. If you're looking at the first hour of trading and it's nowhere near 20, that's going to be scary for tomorrow. Otherwise, if we can get 21, 22, 23, more than 20 on that first hour, ooh, that could be an interesting day for PHUN, all right? I'll flash the weekly really quickly. I think this is way, way more about the daily chart than the weekly chart. But yeah, look, the 25 is now kind of mirroring the 8 moving average. I even like that new 35 line that I drew because it looks like that's where the 50 average is going to go next week. So cool. I like my lines. I like the thoughts. Hey, let me know your thoughts, even if you disagree, all right? You know I love hearing from you. Otherwise, let's take a look at DWAC. I imagine I am going to cluster these together because really just looking at the charts, it's a very, very identical analysis of what I think for DWAC, all right? So first and foremost, you know, I normally talk about Trump a lot, but to me, why I'm interested is actually NVIDIA. All right. Right now, NVIDIA is dropping its earnings. I don't know if it's actually happened yet or not. What's it doing after hours? It's going up a little bit, insignificantly. Trust me, nothing substantial has happened yet. If NVIDIA has a good day, I'm probably going to look away from PHUN and DWAC. But if Nvidia has bad earnings, I think most things will go down, and maybe these will go up for no reason. That's actually what I'm thinking about. All right. From there, again, I've said it a couple times already, just in case you fast forwarded to this, we are now coming up to the South Carolina primary. All right. We were as much as 2 full weeks away from it during that last one on the 8th. It's now coming up. My only concern is it's happening on a Saturday. We cannot trade anything on Saturday. We cannot trade anything on Sunday. We have to wait until Monday, 2 full days after. All right. So little bit disappointed from that, but otherwise, again, I think I'm here more for something aside Donald Trump. Really quick, I will call them out because, hey, I thought they were cool. I talked about it with my wife. Oh, shoot, where is it? I know someone showed right here. It was a pretty cool shoe. Where is it? Where is it? I know he put a picture of it. I know he put a picture. Is it this one? There's a better picture, I thought, somewhere. Whatever. It was a cool shoe. I talked to my wife. I am not a sneaker dude. I spend my money on Lego sets, not sneakers. But yeah, I kind of regret actually not getting it. I thought there was a better picture of it. There wasn't. All right, whatever. Either way, yeah, I like the shoe thing. Easy way to get some money, easy way to get rid of some of the lawsuits. Again, we're not here to talk about Trump in terms of do we like him or not. The man is just good at getting headlines, and that shoe thing, just another example of it. You know what I mean? So hopefully Trump does some headline stuffs with the upcoming primary. But again, I think this is a little bit more of an NVIDIA safe haven going into tomorrow. All right. There have been a few comments about the acquisition itself, all right? This is still a SPAC stock, all right? Special Acquisitions something. I have no idea. SPAC, S-P-A-C, all right? This Special Acquisitions Corp will merge and will change tickers, right? I've had a couple people say that that's supposed to be coming soon. I've had a couple people say that there were a couple pending deadlines and a couple pending, price targets and stuff like that. If anyone has some real good specific details and maybe can share a couple links, I would really appreciate that. I'll be a little louder with it on the next video for sure, but I'm not 100% on the facts. It's not like there's been an inconsistency on the comments. That's not what I'm really trying to make the assumption or imply, but I don't think I've asked firmly enough to really know. So yeah, I would very much appreciate some good merger news. All right. Otherwise, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Otherwise, let's come into Rumble. All right. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, please share this video online. It does wonders. It does wonders with these algorithms. All right. So Rumble. If you've watched my videos, you know I am not here to talk about the short squeeze. I am not here to talk about the crazy meme runs, all right? There's been a lot of hype on Rumble, all right? And look, I was very bullish on this uptrend. I connected it to Trump a little bit. I gave it credit because it kept going up while the other two were going down. Rumble, I was loving from this end of January to early February run, all right? I drew this 811 line a long time ago, and if you go back to the Rumbles, you can see it, and by no means is that a brag. I swear, I'm gonna tell you why I think this line's important, but this line's been here for a while, and the importance of it really screams out for 2 reasons. Number one, look, this is not a stock with a lot of history. There is absolutely nothing. Rumble did not exist. All of a sudden it existed, right? The first day was what? Less than a full 3 years ago. That's not a lot of time, all right? So the fact that this 811 line had a substantial spike, hit a substantial moment before it spiked down again. When I say spike, I mean drop, right? But that's yeah. There was a good hit right there, 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 and a good hit right there before we even talked about the hits that obviously happened here, right? When a line has so many moments in a stock that barely has any moments, you know that's an important line, all right? So Believe me, I always say on every single video, break all 5 lines and fly. All right. This stock broke all 5 lines and flew. This stock had a good candle over it. I would call that a confirmation. That's even a good third one behind it, right? So there's a little bit that I'm sure people are like, dude, you keep saying break them all and fly. It did it. All of a sudden it didn't, right? Resistance lines, I draw these things for a reason. And I generally draw them above the moving averages for a reason, right? Unfortunately, this line was just a little too close to that break of the 200, and it made the run nothing, right? Is what it is, right? But I still believe in the rhyme, but I see the strength in this resistance. I do, right? So, look, the other thing I talked about in the beginning of the video, this hit the wall, hit the line, and did bounce back up. All right. So in some ways, there is a little bit of a technical strength to the 200 right now, because it actually did show, hey, I'm a friend. Okay. Let's just zoom out real quick. Look at this line. This line, you can almost see the purple line every single moment in the view. Little bit over it, little bit over it, little bit over it, but basically purple line, purple line, purple line, purple line, purple line, purple line. Like this line is not an easy thing since it was, created, right? So the fact that we bounce a little bit, that's a good thing. Obviously it wasn't enough, so it could have been a better thing. But yeah, we easily could have lost this like a hot knife through butter. And I am not going to give any credit to the 20 moving average. This right here was 100% the purple line. So I like that. I do really like that. All right. And to me, as long as we stay over that purple line, I have to stay a little bit bullish. All right. As long as we stay over $6.80, I'm okay on Rumble. Now, look, I don't like a stock that's under the 8 moving average. You know that. But, hey, we're at least still over the 20. That's actually still okay in my book. And again, I just talked about that strength, right? So hopefully this first orange 20 line can hold it. Otherwise, hopefully the purple line will be another bounce. If we lose that 680 line I just talked about, we're coming all the way down to probably 550. And that's a pretty bad fall right there, all right? Listen, I am not here to talk about the squeeze. I am not here to disregard these colorful lines, all right? And my white ones, knock on wood, I'm pretty good at drawing them, all right? Obviously confident enough to come on YouTube and have the world say I'm dumb otherwise, right? Knock on wood, most don't. But yeah, I still believe in the rhyme, even though it didn't do it. And I hope you see why on this case, all right? What needs to happen? I think 2 things. And again, I think this is a little bit of what your risk tolerance kind of is. You can easily make the argument that 750 is a money line. If we can get to like 751, 752, I think some people can argue that's a really good entry point. For me, and I'm zooming out, I would much rather break 811 and hopefully start going up. All right, that's the way I trade. All right, but yeah, I think I see a 750 reasoning easily. All right, last thing I just want to talk about is just volume again. As I zoom in, I'm zooming in away from those 2, just like we saw with DWAC and PHUN. We're now starting to see a little bit of an inability to hit this 50-day average line, all right? I would say it's not as bad as the 2. I think that's why the drop hasn't been that bad, but we've already lost $1. This thing already went down an eighth. I don't know what an eighth is, 3.75? Damn, that's an eighth of an ounce, not an eighth as a percentage. Damn, that's embarrassing. Maybe it is 3.75. I have no idea, but regardless, all right? No one wants to go down an eighth. That's an easy thing to say, all right? So hopefully we can stay over this. I'm still bullish over it. I'll quickly flash the weekly. Oh. So the 50-day average is at 708 on the weekly. 708. I'll keep this 680 line. Be a little weary if you lose 7 because that might be a quick drop down to 680. Gotta hold that 680. I think that's a good place to end this. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Hey, I appreciate you so, so much.